In this video, we're going to learn about polynomials and some of the definitions that we use to refer to them, definitions to define them. So a polynomial is really just this thing right here. It's a multi-term expression usually with variables. Actually, it always has variables in it, but sometimes the variables are to certain powers and separated by pluses and minuses. So we're going to give you some terms right now to work with. A degree refers to the power of a variable in a term. I should maybe say single term. So you can see right here the degrees in this little diagram, and I would highly suggest drawing this if you did not print this out. They are third power, second power, or squared, and then first power, which you usually never write. Actually, you never write. But cubed, squared, and to the first power, those are the degrees of each of these terms. Okay? So standard form is an expression written from highest degree term to lowest degree term. So these terms right here, so 6x cubed, that's a term, negative 4x squared, that's a term, 8x, that's a term. And this polynomial is in standard form because it's written from highest degree term to lowest degree term. So you see you have this term right here, we call that a third degree term. I should maybe say an expression written in order from highest degree term to lowest degree term. Okay? The leading coefficient is the coefficient of the first term in a polynomial written in standard form. That's important. It's the coefficient. So this number right here, like, see the coefficients right here? These are all the coefficients of these terms, 6, negative 4, and 8. And the leading coefficient is the coefficient of the first term in a polynomial written in standard form. So that is the condition. It has to be written in standard form. Classifying polynomials is pretty simple. If we have two terms, we use the prefix bi and we say binomial. So a binomial is one with two terms. So that would be like, an example would be D right here. That's two terms. Three terms would be a trinomial. Three terms here, A and B, these are both examples of trinomials. Four or more terms, we just throw in the polynomial group. And tri means three, bi means two, poly means many. One term is monomial, right? Because mono means one. Now, really all of these that have more than one term are really considered polynomials, but usually we call two-term polynomials binomials and three-term polynomials trinomials. So let's classify each polynomial in these examples. 2x to the third plus 6. Well, we have two terms, so that's going to be a binomial, and because the highest degree term is to the third power, we call that a third degree term right there, that will actually determine the degree of the whole polynomial itself. So because that term is the third degree, the whole polynomial is going to be a third degree polynomial. So we're going to classify it though according to the number of terms as well. So we'll say this is a third degree binomial. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. This one right here is not written in standard form. However, we can see that the highest degree term is right here, 3x to the fourth. That means it's a fourth degree polynomial because that's the highest degree term. And it has multiple terms, more than 3, so we're going to call it a polynomial right here. And it's altogether, it's going to be a fourth degree polynomial. Okay, now we're going to write some of these in standard form. And again, standard form, just to remind you up here, is an expression written in order from highest degree term to lowest degree term. So what's the highest degree term here? It would be the negative 3m squared, and then the negative m, that would be 1, then this would be 2, and then this would be the third one. So let's write it in order 1, 2, 3. Negative 3m squared minus m plus 7. That is standard form. Highest degree term right here would be the negative d to the third, then d to the second, then the 4d, and then the 5. The constant term, which is just the number without the variable, always comes last. So this is the same as negative d to the third plus 3d squared plus 4d plus 5. That's in standard form. And the leading coefficient then would be negative 1. Here the leading coefficient would be negative 3. Okay, last one. Highest term here would be negative x to the fifth, then negative x to the third, then 4x squared, then 1. So we're going to go negative x to the fifth minus 3x. Don't forget these signs in front of the terms, especially the negative signs, right? And we're done.